is a fun little activity for practicing adverbs of frequency, such as always, usually, sometimes, often, once a week, never, those sort of words. So at this point, the students should know them. So, for example, you've done your timeline. You've done always is 100, then 80, 40, 0, whatever numbers you use. So maybe I'd write the first word on the board like that. What's this? Always. Well done. Put a circle around it. I'd ask a student to come up. Maybe they could write another one on the board. So the idea is to get as many of these on the board as we can. Often, usually, which is my favourite, since it's very hard to pronounce. Usually. Throw in another never. So I've got the students coming up, writing what they want and where they want them. Then I would start to ask the first student a question. They stand up right here, and I'd say, how often do you go to school? Throw the ball. And they have to say the sentence with the adverb of frequency they've selected. So they say, I always go to school. It's fair enough. Now, to make it more interesting and to make them want to use the language, to have a need for it, make the questions a bit more creative. For example, like, how often do you go to the toilet? How often do you kiss so-and-so, kiss the teacher or something like that? Because then the students really find it quite humorous, especially when someone comes up, how often do you, I don't know, how often do you wear your mother's dress? Oh, good ball. And they have to say, I sometimes wear my mother's dress. Oh. But then after you've done a couple, then obviously turn it back on yourself by having them ask you the question. But what about that team asks that team a question? So they say, how often, it usually ends up, how often do you go to the girls' WC? Or something like that. Back and forward, forward and back. And then they're practicing the questions there really well. Thank you.